Hey guys, Steve here. Well, I got another video today, and as you can see, me and Winnie are out walking through. Come on, Winnie, pulling the camera around. Me and Winnie are walking down through this camping spot here, looking for a few bigger bits of wood so we can have a fire tonight, because it was -1 last night, and I reckon it's going to be just as cold tonight. And I thought I'd do a video on a few different heating devices, as in keeping warm when bush camping, and things that are great for not impacting the ground where you're camping. We've got 3 devices that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to get some more wood. We'll get that intro out of the road. Once that's over, we'll show you what we got, eh? Cheers, guys. Hey guys, well, we're back up at the campsite. We've collected all our wood. We've got 3 different fire pits here, or cooking devices. You can use them all for cooking, all for heating, all for sitting around. And the great thing about these 3 devices is that you can use them in camping areas where you can't normally have a fire on the ground. So they're great for that, because all of these 3 fire pits do have the advantage of being up off the ground a bit. One of them will do a little bit of burning on the ground. I'll show you that in a minute. But all 3 of them are fantastic for using if you're in a place where they don't really like you burning their grass. So we'll start off with the Snow Peak over here. I've done a video recently on the new flogger, the Snow Peak flogger that I got for it. This is the original Snow Peak fire pit here, and as you can see, they were one of the first ones to come out with a plate on the bottom that raised it up off the ground. They have a few different sizes in these now. They actually have a king size one now, which would be great. Smoke's just blowing in my eyes. I can't see, I've just lost my train of thought. So they actually have a large one now, a king size one. I'll see if I can put a photo of it up on the screen. I'm pretty sure you can get them from, there's a few different places in Australia that sell them now. I think Tom's Outdoors, and I can't think of the other one. I'll put a photo of it up on the screen, or a link, so you can have a look at that one. But we find this really good. It's fantastic for people sitting around it, either with the flogger off, but having this on here now is great, like I said, for when you're in windy conditions, because it does block the wind blowing all the wood, and you can stack a little bit more wood up in it. We're going to be actually cooking on this tonight. We've got, as you can see, I've got my hillbilly wok there. We're going to spin that around there, and we're going to cook up a stir fry in there. Aussie made. Check out my other video on hillbilly. That's fantastic. But we'll go to the next one over here now. So this is the Drifta Stockton fire pit, or cooker, either way, and it's also up off the ground. Now this one's got a little bit smaller base tray. It will scorch the grass maybe a little bit, just depends on how hot a fire you have on it, but it's not really a problem. The great thing about this one, out of the 3 of them we got here, this one here is the lightest, but it doesn't collapse down as much as maybe the Snow Peak. But saying that, the Snow Peak does sort of fit in a bag that by that, but it's only about that thick. Whereas this one here, see this top piece here, that actually slides down into this bottom piece here. So the actual size of it is from the bottom there to about that lip there, and the round circumference that you can see there. It's still very light. I think it's a great fire pit. We've been sitting around it for all last night, and we've used this on other camping trips, and the heat coming off it now is absolutely fantastic. Now you really got to get back, and the good thing about this one as well, you can cook off it. So we've got a little lip here. Now this here, I can't put it on there at the moment because the wood's sticking up above the top there, but that just sits inside the top of the ring there, and then this little plate here can go on there. You can either have it either way if you want, but that way is probably the way it goes. And you can also put a wok on there. Now you want to make sure, if you are using a wok or a fry pan on here, that you leave a little bit of an air gap around the side so the fire can still breathe, because it needs to suck air through the bottom and extinguish it through the top here. So just make sure you do that. I think it's a fantastic product. It comes with a great bag as well, so that you can store it on your trailer and not have to worry about it getting damaged. And like I said, The fantastic thing about this one is it's very light. I reckon that's one of the greatest things about it, and also the fact that it just, you can put a big fire in there, like you can put big logs in there. I reckon that'd be nearly 500 high. I'm not sure of the exact height, but you can put longer bits of wood in there, and bigger bits of wood, and you don't have to worry about it, sort of the wood falling out all over the place, and it keeps the fire in the fire pit. So fantastic product. I'll leave a link in the description where you can get those. So what we might do now is move on to the last one, and we'll show you that. It's over here. Let's go. So check that one out. Now a third one, this one here is the winter, or not winter, it's Winnerwell. I've had one of these. This is not my one, this belongs to Rob, but I've got an identical one, nearly all the same setup except for one thing. We've both had these about the same amount of time. We've had them for 2 years. Now they're a fantastic product. We love them. We mainly use ours when we're winter camping, or when it's raining or really cold, or whether we're in a spot where you can't use a fire pit because of rules about open fires and things. The beauty about this one over the other two, your fire is all contained inside this little box here, like your slow combustion stove you'd have in your house. It's virtually the same thing, but it's mobile. You can shut the door, you can close this little door here, and everything's encased in this little, it's even got a little top on here you can remove. So we cooked up a stir fry on this a few weeks ago. We took this out, sat our wok over the centre here, and cooked up our stir fry. Because this thing here, that's a little water container. If you check out my previous video, you can see that there. You can put water in there, boil up some water, so you got it for cooking or cuppers or things like that. Once it's hot, there's little hooks down here. You can hang it on the side here and get it out of the road. That makes this cooking service a lot bigger. It's a fantastic little product. There's not a real lot of drawbacks. The one thing that you want to do, when we bought ours, we didn't have these extension legs. We ended up both buying these, so that we can get it a lot higher off the ground. That way you can stick your feet under there, or if you've got a bit of wet wood, you can sit it underneath there, and the heat off the fire will dry your wood out, and you can keep feeding it to it. Another great thing that Rob's got, I really like this. As you know, I've got the fast fold oven. I'll show you that again. It sits on the top here, and but this one here, it actually uses the heat coming out of the chimney. So this chimney here, the heat gets exhausted around inside this here. So all that's hollow in there, and the heat's running around inside there and heating up all the sides in here. Gets an enormous amount of heat in there, depending on how much wood you put in there. You can see it's nearly up to 400 degrees there at the moment. So that's really hot. I think the first time we used this with Rob, we walked away and we had some pies in there, and we come back and they look like charcoal. They just about caught fire. But we learned our lesson. Put less wood in there, get that to the temperature you want it, and it'll be right. You can cook anything in there. You could cook bread, you could heat up pies, make a cake, whatever. But we're really happy with it. Another good thing that you want to get is one of these mats for it underneath it, because when you open this door, occasionally you'll have a bit of charcoal fall out, and you don't want it falling on the ground. These are made of some carbon fibre stuff that won't burn. I've got one that's like a material one. I wish I would have got this one. It's a lot better. That'll be something that I'll get later on. But overall, I think it's a fantastic product. There are 3 great options if you're camping. It really depends on what you're doing. This one here is probably the heaviest out of the lot of them, but they all take up about the same amount of area in your camping trailer, so you're not any disadvantage with the size of them. It's more the weight. This would be the heaviest, then the Snow Peak, and then the Drifta one. So check out all my previous videos on all these products if you want to have a look at them. But whichever one you go with, I don't think you can go wrong. So, thanks very much. If you've got any questions, queries or comments, leave them down below and I'll get back to you. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.